Unang-una, nagpa-presscon po kayo, no? Kayo mismo nagsiwalat nitong questionable projects patungkol po sa flood control. Unang-una, na-validate na po ba? Ilang ghost projects yung pinag-uusapan natin dito?
Well, first, Christian, for context, no, we were able to discover or find 331 projects that were based on several lists, no, yung isumbong sa Pangulo website, yung PCMA website ng DPWH, tapos crowdsourcing information galing po sa mga citizens namin, tapos information din po galing sa barangay, tapos additional lists na galing sa mga DE ng DPWH na binigay nila sa amin pero wala sa PCMA website. So sa kabuuan, when we validated everything, no, took out the overlapping projects, there are 331 projects, no, with a total amount of 17 billion pesos. Now, dun sa 331 na yan, at least 66, I as a normal citizen, yung mga engineers, iba yung mga term din na ginagamit nila dito, but I would call them ghost projects kasi either hindi sila nakikita or meron silang coordinates, pero dun sa coordinates, pagpuntahan mo, wala kang makikitang kahit anong project.
Clarify ko lang, no? Ilan po yung ghost projects na pinag-uusapan dito?
So 66 at least,
66.
Cristiano. Bakit ko sinabing 66? Kasi meron din mga project na same ang coordinates, may isang structure doon, pero 4 na project yung nakalista in the same coordinates. So maaring isang project lang yun, pero 4 na beses pinondohan. May mga ganun pa eh. Very complicated talaga siya, Christian. But so that's why I say at least 66. It could be much more actually.
Okay. Dito sa ghost projects na binabanggit ninyo, no? Saan mga distrito po ito located? Itong 66. Meron ba siyang parang pattern or usual area kung saan parang dun lagi nilalagak yung ganyang proyekto?
Well, I think 5 out of the 6 districts of Quezon City have ghost projects, no? So may isa na wala.
Anong distrito po yung walang ghost project?
So yung walang ghost project ay District 5, no? Pero sa District 1, there are 7. Sa District 2, there's 1. Sa District 3, there are 9. Sa District 4, there are 24. At sa District 6, there are 25. So, this is 66, no? But assuming 66 lang sila, eto yun.
Okay. Magkano yung pinag-uusapan po dito, yung halaga ng ghost projects na binabanggit ninyo?
So, we're talking 2.6 billion pesos.
2.6 billion ang ghost projects. Okay.
Yes.
Ang una ko pong tanong, no, bago natin himayan itong ghost projects na ito, ganun ba talaga? Parang siguro sa ordinary observer, no, parang hirap paniwalaan na hindi alam ng local government yung mga proyektong nakalagak sa kanyang lugar. Parang paano nangyari po ito? 331 at hindi nyo alam.
Yes, ito nga yung dahilan kung bakit ko siya hinanap, no, Christian, because a reporter one time reported to me na merong isang lugar na nalaman niya through citizens na bumabaha ngayon pero dati hindi binabaha. So nung tinignan namin yung records ng aming engineering department, hindi namin makita yung project na yan. No? And so when I mentioned that on air, nahahanapin ko yung project, aalamin ko, imbestigahin ko, napakarami, siguro 1,000 ang nagba sa akin. Nung klase kang mayor, hindi mo alam kung ano yung nangyayari sa bakuran mo. But it's because, Christian, we have an ordinance was passed in 2020 kung saan we require or mandate the DPWH to coordinate with the city government lahat po ng proyekto na sasagawa nila sa amin pong lungsod. That's mandatory. And that ordinance is actually based on a provision in the local government code which says kailangan lahat ng proyekto ng national government naka-coordinate sa local government. So of course, assuming regularity ako dito, no? Kaya kung kung hindi nila kino-coordinate, I assume it's not being done. Alam mo yun, hindi mo hinahanap kasi wala naman kino-coordinate sa amin. Pero when I found out na may project na gano'n na binanggit ng reporter na nangyayari na hindi ko alam, pinahanap ko ngayon lahat ng mga projects na ito na hindi kino-coordinate sa city. And I found out na 2 lang pala ang kino-coordinate sa city. And when we looked at all these sources that I mentioned earlier, yun na nga, we found 331 in total. So, napakarami pala. And then, nung hinanap na namin sila, yan, nakita na namin yung mga nandyan. And actually, ghost projects are not the worst, Christian. Well, of course, they're the worst for me. But there are other really bad things as well. Yung mga sidewalk na 70 million pesos ang halaga kasi ayon dun sa title, it's a drainage improvement, pero actually pinunturahan lang yung sidewalk. So that's one. Merong isang flood control structure na 92 ang phases. So, pero hindi mo mahanap yung 92 phases na yan. Tapos meron pang isang pumping station na pinagawa sa ibabaw mismo ng creek na siyang dahilan kung bakit ang dating hindi binabahang mga barangay ngayon ay binabaha na konting ulan lang. At marami pang iba. No,
ito binabanggit nyo na pumping station ba ito sa ibabaw ng creek?
Opo,
saan po ito ginawa?
So ito po ay matatagpuan sa Barangay Talayan. This is on top of the Matalahib Creek, which is a tributary of the San Juan River. And the pumping station was built right on top of the creek, thereby disrupting the flow of water. Kaya ngayon, yung mga barangay sa nakalapit ng lugar na yan, Santo Domingo, Talayan, NS Amoranto, Siena, ngayon konting ulan ay binabaha na yan. And that can be attributed based on our sensors doon sa presence ng pumping station na yan.
Anong distrito po ito?
Na incidentally nga pala, Christian, ay hindi umaandar na pumping station kasi apparently phase 1 pa lang yung structure on the creek at meron pa lang 3 phase yan at yung phase 2 and phase 3 hindi pa pala nagagawa. That's the purchase of the pump itself, which is imported, and the total cost of that project is about 350 million. No? So yung natapos is the actual structure on the creek, that's about 96 million pesos.
Okay. Saang distrito po ito located?
This is in the 1st district.
1st district. Tine-trace ko lang po kasi 6 ang congressional districts ninyo, no? So ito, paanong napondohan po ito? Itong 350 million pumping station na hindi gumagana.
Well, there are 2 types of funding na nakita namin, no? There's of course yung nasa NEP, at yung nasa NEP or National Expenditure Program, ito yung mga pet projects ng ating mga kongresista. So ito yung mga pinondohan based on their lobbying, no? As far as I can remember or I understand. Although I've never been a congressman, pero yan ang pagkaintindi ko. Tapos meron ding mga projects na not found in the NEP, which I assume based on the lingo of the day are what you call insertions. So itong pumping station,
ano po
ito
ito?
nasa
Paano
NEP.
napondohan?
Nasa NEP.
Nasa
sa NEP
NEP
po ito. Apo.
Yung buong pondo po na 350 or mas mababa sa NEP nadagdagan lang?
Ang alam ko, itong first phase, 96 or 95 point something million, yun yung first phase. Tapos yung susunod na 250 million ay dapat sa 2026 budget yata, based on my understanding.
Okay, so yung phase 1 kumbaga nasa NEP for the 2025 budget. So kung susundin natin yung definition ninyo ng funding na dalawang klase, so this was in the NEP. So basically naglabi rito yung kongresista ng 1st district, tama ba? At ayun ay si Congressman Arjo Atayde. Tama po ba?
Opo, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I understand that ganun.
Nakausap niyo na po ba siya rito? Kung bakit niya inilagak itong pondo na ito or isinulong?
Opo, well, ang pagkaintindi ko kasi nung kinakausap ko siya is that hindi naman siya technical person, no? So siya isang congressman. So naglalabi siya kasi yung district niya is one of the most flood-prone districts in Quezon City. So he was not, based on my conversation with him, he was not aware na yan ng project na ginawa ng DPWH, that it was a pumping station. So ang pagkaunawa ko is siguro nagkaroon sila ng pagpupulong ng DPWH at sinabi niya, itong lugar na ito, flood-prone, kailangan ng interventions kayo dito. And he lobbied for the funds for that particular intervention. So,
kailan kayo nagkausap po?
This was, right after I found out na yun na nga natapos na yung structure. Kasi based on the background ng Christian is that this was not coordinated with the city, itong pumping station na ito. Okay, so nakita ng mga engineers natin kasi right on top of the creek, very absurd and very ridiculous na there's a structure on the creek. We actually asked DPWH to stop construction. We objected to that particular project. And yet they continued to build. No? So we objected again. I think several times kami nag-object and they continued to build. So finally, I talked to Congressman Atayde and I said, did you know about this? And he said he didn't. No, he told me hindi niya alam yon. And that's why I assume, o siguro hindi niya alam na ito yung intervention na ginawa ng DP when he asked for a flood control project. That was my assumption. Because when I mentioned that it was very disruptive, no, nakakasama na at nakakapaglalapa ng baha sa lugar niya, he immediately set an appointment between me and the DPWH, RD, and DE naman para pag-usapan. No, so he intervened naman in that regard.
Anong paliwanag po nung DPWH? Bakit nila ginagawa yung proyekto without coordinating with the local government?
Well, ang sabi lang nila, parang I think ang pagkaintindi ko, they needed to build on top of a parcel of land, ideally, pero walang public-owned land doon, private. So they would have to acquire land, no? Which is the reason why I said, why didn't you coordinate with the city? Because if you coordinate, we have expropriation powers, or we have the power to acquire land. So we could have worked together to actually build a proper pumping station, no? Assuming, of course, that the pumping station is the appropriate intervention for that kind of flood. Kasi I would argue hindi, no? Kasi wala namang Manila Bay sa tabi, or saan may ipapump yung tubig, no? Pero nakaligtaan nilang mag-coordinate at hindi naman nila napaliwanag kung bakit tahimik lang sila. And then it turns out, halos lahat pala ng flood control projects sila hindi kino-coordinate.